Hey, quick! I am going to separate this video in tiny parts. You will see the timestamps right here on screen. I will put them in the video description, and I try to put them into the timestamp thing on YouTube. So you don't have to watch the whole video to find a specific part if you're not interested in other things. So have fun with the video. This is going to be a little quick tutorial on how to use OBS. It's going to be a quick one, so I'm gonna try to keep it as short and precise as possible. I'm obviously not a god in this. I just happen to know a little bit about this because I did some research. Most of the stuff I'm going to show here is trial and error. It's going to be taking some time. It's hopefully not taking a long time because you don't have to find everything out individually because I'm explaining it, but it's still going to take some time to find the best possible settings for your computer. So with that said, we're gonna start with something two easy things to explain and do the scenes and sources. Scenes are basically just the scenes, what you want to call it. Like, for instance, you have the desktop here and CSGO, for instance, and you have in both of them, in the sources, you have different stuff. The scenes are just to keep everything nice and compact and beautiful and clean. But if you have, like, for instance, you have the desktop with face cam on the left and hand cam on the right or whatever. Oh no, you have let's say you have CSGO face cam on the left, hand cam on the right. And you go to you want to show something on the desktop, and you don't want those to be there. You don't have to manually like press this little eye here to deactivate it. You just have to change the scene, and it's going to turn into that particular instance what you want. So basically, if you want to record your desktop, you go to sources, press that plus here. Obviously, you press this plus to make a source, and then make a scene. Sorry. Then you go to the sources, press on the plus, and you have a difference of a few different options you can do, like game capture, display capture, window capture, video capture, and I think image. Those are the big ones you might want to need or use. Obviously, display is going to capture your whole display / desktop. Game capture is going to capture games, and window capture is going to capture windows only. Like for instance, this window of OBS, I can have it that I only record this, and you don't see my beautiful background here of this cute anime girl. Okay. And you can switch around. You don't have to make multiple scenes just to make it, like, again, nice and beautiful and clean. Something quick I want to say about game capture and recording in games. If you play a game in windowed or windowed full screen, you will not be able to use game capture because that option or that capturing technique or whatever the fuck you want to call it is only possible in full screen mode. That means if you play a game for specific reasons in a windowed format, you will not be able to record it with game capture. You will have to use window capture or display capture. But those two have different issues with recording gameplay. Display a little bit less than window, but both of them have the issue that your frame rate will be absolute dog shit when you record in window, or if you record a game. I don't know why that is. At least that happened in my testing. So if you can, try to avoid playing in windowed and go full screen and record it with game capture, if absolutely possible. Okay. With that, we're going next to the next one. Okay, this one is going to be quicker. It's the audio mixer. very simple. Desktop audio is everything that happens on your PC will be recorded, and mic/aux is obviously your microphone. So if you want to do settings, you go on this little wheelie thing, don't remember what it's called in English. Then you go to properties, then you will have this window with devices, and then you want to click the one that is responsible for your what you will hear in your ears. So if you use the headset, it will say, I don't know, headphone, headset, whatever, the name of your headset probably. You want to click on it if it obviously doesn't recognize it on its own, and then press OK, and then everything you will hear on the desktop, just open up, I'm gonna open up a random music file. Yeah, basically that you will hear that on your in the recording in the background. So desktop audio, obviously everything on your PC that you hear through your own headphones. Microphone, obviously, again, stuff that you will say into your microphone. Yeah. Okay, with that being said, we're gonna go to the controls. So the controls are pretty self-explanatory, at least on the surface. Start streaming, start recording, studio mode, settings and exit. Start streaming, obviously start streaming. Start recording is start to record. Studio mode, it's for professional broadcasting. For instance, if you have a podcast with multiple scenes and sources, you can click on it, and you will have, like for instance in your Twitch stream, if you have 3 cameras pointing at 3 different objects in the room, you will have a little grid with your 4 cameras, and they will show, obviously will show your cameras, but you don't really need that, especially as just for recording thing. Hey, I'm recording, for instance, I don't know, Rocket League gameplay. You don't need that. Settings, the settings and exit. If you click that, you close OBS, which is pretty stupid because you have an X button on top of here, and I think you can also close it. Yeah, you can close it on files too. So perfect. You have multiple rage quit buttons. If you rage quit on OBS, I don't know. Okay. With that said, we're gonna go into the settings. That's going to be a fun ride because I hate settings. I'm kidding, but yeah, the only ones that are really kind of scary, or not scary but complicated, are the output. Is the output tab here? That's the only weird one where I need to go a little bit deeper. But yeah, we're gonna start with general. Alrighty. General, you don't really have to do much in here. Everything you need is already enabled or disabled. Automatically check for updates on startup is if you start up OBS, it checks for updates. If you don't like that, turn it off, turn it on. I don't really mind, I don't care. Just leave it on if you don't care actually. Theme, you can switch between white, dark, and so on. I have it on dark mode because I like everything dark on my PC. I don't know why, I just don't like the light, says the guy with the white background. Well, okay, language, English might be in a different language for you for some reason. Just, I don't know, test around. See what language you like. Might possibly be English. And if you want to follow this tutorial efficiently, I would recommend you to put it on English for the time being. You can put it back on your main language if you want to decide to. With that said, nothing else in general. Go to stream. You have service, server, and that's it. On the normal OBS at least. I have a Streamlabs or Stream whatever version, so I have a little bit more options when it comes to streaming, but it doesn't really matter to record with those, so don't notice don't think about those. I'm only going over those that I think think you have in the normal version. So anyways, services here, service you use: YouTube, Twitch, Facebook. Okay, just leave it at Twitch, let's be honest. Server, leave it at auto. If you for some reason have a bad connection to the server you're streaming to, change it to whatever you need, test around and find out. But yeah, normally it should be good on auto if you're not using a VPN, obviously. We're gonna skip output for now. It's a little bit complicated again. We're gonna put that at the end. So yeah, audio, leave everything here. There's again the same things you could have done in down here in the audio mixer, so you don't actually have to utilize this. You can use in general you can change the sample rate and channels. Don't need to, don't recommend to if you don't know what you're really doing. It doesn't really break anything, it's just you might change something and it will sound bad, so just leave it at that. Video, base canvas resolution and output scaled resolution and don't scale filter and common FPS values. We're gonna start from the top again. Base resolution or canvas is basically everything that is on your desktop or your window, your screen basically, and that's the resolution you will give OBS to record. The output resolution or the scaled is basically everything. Like you take your base resolution, and where you can basically, if you have a 1080p monitor, you will obviously have 1920 by 1080. But if you for some reason don't want a recording or stream that is 1080p for various reasons, FPS are bad, video looks better for some reason on 710 to 720p, or the stream just or your internet can't handle to upload, or yeah, whatever, just for different reasons you want to have it on 720p, you want to change that to 1280 by 720. That will basically put the output, everything you will get as a record, like in form of a recording or stream, you will get that in 720p instead of 1080. Pretty cool feature. I don't think you can like interchange the aspect ratio, but doesn't really matter. I don't think you will have anything specific or something that you want to output it as, so just leave it that. Just don't care about the aspect ratio. Don't scale filter is basically when you move in the game and suddenly stop. It's like how fast the screen or the recording, the video footage is going back to a stable and good-looking image. That depends on your graphics card, I think, so, and processor. So it depends on how good, like how many frames, how the video looks. You want to go either up or down. I have it on the maximum because on my PC it doesn't really matter. On low-end PCs you maybe want to go down. In this case it's up because I don't know, and down. Yeah. Anyways. Common FPS values. Depending on what software you use to render videos. For me, for instance, if you go to Sony Vegas, yeah, you will see here frame rate. You can have, the maximum you can have is 59.94, and I think on Adobe Premiere, I think it's 60. I am still not really into Premiere. I'm still learning it, so I don't really know. So yeah, I have it on 59.94 because I don't see a reason to put it on 60 if you don't really can get 60. I mean, it's at the end of the day, it's the same number. For a computer at least, it's going to round up, I think, anyway. So yeah, just leave it at that. It's going to be fine anyways. Hotkeys, yeah, you can map have a hotkey on start recording, but I don't recommend it. It's unnecessary. I don't need it. You can have the same button for starting and stopping. So if you press it once, you will start, and you press it another time, you will stop the recording. That's it. I don't use any of those because I'm an old school guy. I'm a boomer. I'm gonna click on those buttons, you know. Advanced, I don't recommend you touching anything here. It's advanced. I don't really know anything here except for video and general. General process priority, I have it on high because I have a pretty good PC. If you don't have a pretty good PC, you can have it on normal. Just test around. Yeah, it's basically just prioritizing. I got the word down. Nice. OBS instead of everything else in the background. So if you have a game that is not really like resource heavy for your computer, like for instance you play Azure Lane or something, no, that's a bad thing. You play Among Us, for instance, you record Among Us, you can have it on high because Among Us honestly isn't a really resource intensive application, so you can have OBS on high and basically giving more priority to OBS instead of Among Us. Obviously, if you play Rocket League, Counter-Strike, whatever game else, you might want to leave it at normal. Do not go to below normal. That will just most of the time will just crash the OBS and or the game. Just leave it at like minimum is normal. You can go above normal and high. That's like the highest that you go. So yeah, video, depending on what graphics card you have, you can go to direct 3D 11 but I think older graphics card don't have that, so they have only direct 3D 10. Color format, stay with with your like default, and color space also, and color range also default. Okay, with that being said, we're gonna go to the fucking output. Let's go. Alrighty. Alrighty, the output. What you want to do first, at output mode, you want to go from, I think, basic, it says, to advanced. Advanced basically gives you a lot more flexibility on how you enter certain numbers and stuff, and it's obviously the better, or in my eyes, the better option and better way to test around and get the best performance / resolution quality for your videos and stream. So what you want to do, if you concentrate only on recording, you can you click on record here, then you have type. You will leave it on standard. I don't know any, like I can't remember any other setting, but leave it at standard. Recording path is where you save your recordings. For me, it's on my C drive. That's my Windows drive. Users Joe. I don't know why it says Joe. I can't remember what I named my user. And then videos, it's going to be in the videos folder on the user I'm using as of right now. Generate file name without space. That's for wait a second. I can show you. For instance, right now it's naming the files like this, and I think if you have it without space, I don't really know, it's going to name them like this, or I think at least without, I don't know, just leave it out, don't need it. Recording format MP4, because that's the most recognized by the most video cutting softwares. I don't know if that was an English word, but you know what I mean. Sony Vegas, Adobe Premiere, whatever you use to cut your videos. MP4 is the most recognizable and recognized one, so you just use MP4. MP4, by the way, is a little bigger than any other one in here, I think. So depends on how much hard drive space you have. It will take up more, but I think I have a video here that's like 30 minutes or something. Yeah, it's like, I have one that is 60 minutes, for 50 minutes. It's like 3 gigabytes, and that's like nothing compared to Shadow Play, which I think I have an 8-minute video that's like 10 gigabytes big. So yeah, just leave it at MP5. Audio track, leave it at 1. You don't need any more. Encoder, leave it at X264. If you use a laptop or whatever, just use that one. I don't think you will have a new and strong graphics card. So yeah, the other one would be an NVIDIA encoder, but yeah, don't use it if you don't have a good graphics card. This is going to be the X264 will encode with your CPU instead of your graphics card, so your CPU will most likely be, or not most likely, it will be like used a lot more. Rescale output, leave it at whatever output it says here. Normally it's the output scaled resolution here. Custom muxer settings, don't use it, cringe, I don't care. Rate control, leave it at CBR. Bitrate is a weird one. Basically, is your gameplay choppy but it looks good? Go down until you have a good like a good 50-50 of good frames in the video and good resolution, or like not resolution but good quality from the looks. And obviously if you have good frames but it looks like the quality looks like garbage, go up until you have the perfect balance of those two. Do not use the buffer size. I don't use it. I don't think you have to use it. You can test around if you get better footage. I don't think so. I don't think you will. Yeah, just test around with that. Like those settings right here, those are like those need testing, especially CPU usage and the rate. Keyframe interval, leave it at 0. It's auto. It's going to be doing it from itself. You don't have to worry about that, I think. CPU usage, the CPU usage preset is basically how much your processor will be utilized to record/stream. So if you have a good processor, you go down. If you have a bad one, you go up. The standard one is very fast. I have it on faster. Depends, like, yeah. Just test around with your bitrate. If you have like, if you have it on very fast and your bitrate is good, like you have a good bitrate, go on faster and see if it's still good looking and good frames. If it's not good frames, go back to very fast and stay there. Yeah. And if it's good on faster, you can try to go to fast. If that's lagging, yeah, just go back to whatever works basically. Profile, I don't know what that actually does. Tune, I don't know what that actually does. I think that's just like on top of the video, so don't worry about those. And X264 options, separated by space, don't use that. I don't use it. There might be some options that will give you better encoding performance, but I don't really think it's necessary. So yeah. And if you want to stream with those settings, just like copy, like look at those settings and go to stream and just enter the same ones here, basically. Replay buffer, don't need that. Audio, don't need that. So basically, that will summarize OBS for you. It's complicated, yes. I hope this is going to make it a little bit easier. Again, it's a trial and error thing. You will have to play around with it. Don't give up. It will work at the end of the day, even if it takes like an hour or two. I took like 3 hours to have like this semi-good setting. I still need to tweak it a lot, but I'm too lazy as of right now. But yeah, it's a trial and error. You have to try shit out and hope it works. So yeah, I hope you find your good settings. Bye bye.